Good afternoon. I'm Chief Michael Spinuzzi. I'm a Division Chief of EMS with the Lewisville Fire Department, and I'd like to take a second and talk about the use of gloves and proper PPE. I want to recommend that everybody read the CDC website for use of personal protective equipment on the use of gloves because I don't want everybody to overuse them. I want to make sure that we're using them properly. So be sure that when you're wearing them, that we're using them correctly. So when you're wearing your gloves, first off, remember that hand hygiene is still very important. Wash your hands thoroughly throughout the day, and then as well as putting your gloves on, make sure your hands are clean before you put your gloves on. Now remember that the gloves are not necessarily protecting the virus from touching your face, it's protecting your hands from getting contaminated. So be encouraged that when you're wearing the gloves, not to touch your face and your eyes and your skin because it still can transmit the virus across. That's a very important point, that it does not protect you. The other important point is to remember that when you take your gloves off, not to cross-contaminate your source. And what I mean by that is if you take your gloves off improperly, you could get the virus back on your hands, and then when you touch your face, you're kind of right back at square one as if you hadn't worn the gloves. When taking your gloves off, it's really important that you take them off properly, because if you take them off improperly, it can allow the virus to spread rapidly if the glove slaps across your hand or if it splashes across your hand. So there's a method of taking the gloves off that involves rolling the gloves on top of each other and using the inside of the glove as sort of a bag. So what I'd like to demonstrate here is how to take a glove off properly. So first off, my hands are clean. I'm going to pull the glove down, and I'm going to create a little bit of a pocket. As I pull the glove down, I pull it inside out, take the second glove, and pull over the top of it. Then I will fold that glove up into this hand. So this hand is now clean. All the contamination is on this hand. Now I'm going to take my clean hand and with two fingers, slide up underneath the cuff of the other gloved hand and pull down over the top of the first glove, reversing the glove so you can see that the purple is now completely on the outside and all of the contamination is on the inside of the glove. It's also important that when you take your gloves off that you put them in the proper receptacle. By dropping these off in a parking lot or leaving them next to your car before you get into the car, that just creates more contamination that somebody else could be exposed to. So remember that you dispose of these properly. I hope these tips can help you in the proper use of gloves, and we hope that together with social distancing and the use of proper PPE that we can conquer this virus very quickly. Thank you.